So we're going to try logout now. We have the currently logged in user because during the register complete we were logged in and there is no way to log out. All right, so let's go to the header. We're going to implement logout here. So I think what we need to do here is we want to show the logout button here in the drop down. Okay, and maybe we can even show the user's name here. So we can what we can do is we can take the email, user's email, get the first part of the email, for example this part of the user's this email, and then display it as name. So that way whether user have display name or not, we can always show the name. Okay, so let's go back to header, components, nav, header, and here first we need to access Firebase here directly, not our Firebase but the actual package that we install. Import Firebase from Firebase. This is required to implement logout. All right, so that's there. We can come down here. Here we want to show the logout, right? So let me copy this item. This is a drop down. I don't think we need key for logout. Just get rid of that. Logout, and when this item is clicked, we can show an icon here. The icon we can use user outline, which we already have import. All right, class name float right. Actually we don't have to give the class name, it's a drop down. Okay, that's good. So all we need is on click. On click, when this is clicked, we want to execute a function called logout. All right, that's perfect. Let's create this function and we're done. So come here, const logout. So here in the logout, we're going to use that Firebase .auth .sign out. So that will log the user out from Firebase, and we also want to update the Redux state, right? So for that we need to use dispatch. So let's bring that use dispatch hook. Import use dispatch from React Redux, and here let dispatch equals to use dispatch, and here we're going to dispatch. Now previously we tried that another dispatch. Let's quickly have a look here. Previously we tried logged in user in app.js. You can see that. Now this time we can try logout. All right, so dispatch the type string logout, payload it's going to be null, back again. So before we had the user, it was null, but now when we log out also we want to set it to null. Right, perfect. So we sign the user out from Firebase, we dispatch to the Redux store, make it empty, and then whichever page user is at the moment, maybe you want to force them to go to login page. You can do that using history.push login. Now we will have a problem if we try to access history like so, because previously we destructured history in the component as props, but we can't do that here because this header is not a route on its own. Okay, let me quickly show you that just to understand why we cannot access history like that. Here we can't do that, and the reason for that is previously we tried that in register complete and it worked. That's because if you go to the app, you can see the register complete is one of the routes. Okay, so in one of these routes you can access history, but otherwise you cannot access history. But there is still another way of accessing history, that is using another React router DOM hook. There is another hook, so let's use that. So import use history hook from React router DOM. Okay, now down here let history equals to use history. Okay, we execute that function. That's available now. History is available here, and we can use that to push the user to log in when they log out. Okay, so that should do. Log out. Let's give it a try. So we have the logout function here. The state, at the moment, the state has the user email and token, but when we log out, you can see user is back to null. User is not in the state, and if you refresh, of course user not in the state, because we didn't just manually remove from our Redux store, but we also log the user out from Firebase entirely. Okay, so that's the reason we don't have the logged in Firebase user, and the user is not in the state as well. How good is that? Okay, so that's great. But now if you want to log in again, you don't want to go through the entire registration process, right? So that means we have to work on the login feature. So we should do that next, right? And then we have to conditionally show and hide these buttons as well. So when we have the logged in user, you don't want to show these buttons, login and register. But if we don't have the logged in user, then you want to show this. So for logged in user, we'll see the dashboard like this. If the user is not logged in, then they will not see this. Instead, they will see these links. Okay. Now, before I finish this lecture, let me change the icon. I think we can find a better icon for logout. And design. Let's go to and design. They have beautiful set of icons. We can use one of those. Go to icons. It's a bit hard to access this page for some reason. We have to just click that. We can even search logout if they have something. Yes, perfect. So we can use that. So instead of this one, I can use logout outlined. Let's import that here. Logout outline. Okay, perfect. Now of course nothing happens, we already logged out. So let's work on the login page, and then we're going to conditionally show and hide these links, and then we're going to finally move to our backend. All right.